Hello and welcome to the All Rookie Podcast. I'm your host, William Harris, aka William is Bill. Great to be back with you today on another great episode of the All Rookie Podcast. And today we are continuing our series on who is and ... And so on this episode, we're going to cover Mark Williams. Who is Mark Williams? The center for the Charlotte Hornets from Duke University. We're going to cover him, his game, how he's doing so far this season. So let's get straight to it like it's nothing to it. Now, Mark Williams is a 21-year-old cornerstone center of the future for the Charlotte Hornets. He had an excellent freshman season at Duke, where he averaged 11 points, 7 boards, and 3 blocks per game. He showed that he was clearly one of the top big men in the class. I had him as a second best big man in the class behind Chet Holmgren. He was drafted as the third big man behind Chet and Jalen Duren, as he was selected 15th overall by the Hornets and was instantly thought to be the starting center for the franchise, who kind of had a hole there. They've been struggling from center to center, whether it's Plumlee, Cody Zeller. It's just been a plethora of centers there that have all been average at best. That's the nice way to say it. My evaluation of Mark Williams when he was coming out of Duke, I told you his stats, 11 and 7 with those huge 3 blocks per game. He was 20 years old as a sophomore. Obviously, he's 21 now, but in college, he was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. He's an aggressive big, strong finisher at the rim. You have to have that in the NBA. He had nice touch on his tip ends. He's a great shot blocker, like truly outstanding shot blocker. I love his ability to run the floor. That's tough for big men nowadays. Well, just in general. But he's not slow at all. He's a great pick and roll player. He can back down and get exactly where he wants to be under and around the paint. Great putback dunker on rebounds. He blocks shots with authority. He blocked shots like they were kids out there against him. It was fun to watch. He has super long extension. Can even block 3-pointers from pretty far away. That's always a good sign. He had a 7'7" wingspan. Pretty much always gets in the right spot and position to score. He was a great free throw shooter for a center, 75%. Very good defensively. And to work on, he probably just needed to polish his post moves. And if he can create his own shot in the NBA, he will be great. So pretty much a glowing review for him. I had him projected going 13th to the Hornets. The Hornets had the 13th and 15th pick. They selected him with the 15th pick. So I got the team right, just not exactly the number. But still, things went well for Mark whenever he got an opportunity. But they did not start off how everyone envisioned. Everyone thought he should slot right into that center position. They had Mason Plumlee, Nick Richards, Kai Jones, and, Mark was the most invested player they had with that first round pick, 15 overall. But he basically received no playing time in the first 2 months of his rookie season. He spent that time in the G League, albeit dominating, averaging 22 points, 12 boards, and 2 blocks per game. So that's what you want to see. At least he was playing excellent in the G League. So the Hornets head coach, Steve Clifford, is very old school. He does not like to play rookies, so the path to minutes were tough. Meanwhile, Jalen Duren and Walker Kessler were excelling in the NBA, and it would have been Chet as well, but he's out for the year. But they had everyone thinking the Hornets made a mistake with their pick and were just completely incompetent. Even highly regarded sports people were saying the Hornets blew this draft, selecting Williams over Duren and Kessler. But then finally, it seems like the fans and media were clamoring so much, whether it was hate or for Mark Williams to play, the Hornets gave in and gave him a chance on December 26th. He played his first game, and in his first game that he started, he got a double. Well, in his first game, he in double digits, he scored 9 points and had 6 boards. And then, he showed right there. He played 15 minutes. That was his first game in double-digit minutes, 15. Scored 9 and 6. Then on December 29th, he had his first double-double with 17 points, 13 boards, 2 steals, and 2 blocks in only 21 minutes. And everyone took notice, and everyone was like, well, maybe he was taken in the right spot, But it's the Hornets. So, of course, did they keep that pattern going? Not at all. They just couldn't have that continued success. So he never saw over 21 minutes again until recently, February 10th. That was like 5 days ago with the Hornets playing Mason Plumlee and Nick Richards over Mark Williams. It's just been a complete disaster for this team. And that's partly why they are one of the worst teams in the NBA this year. Now, the trade deadline just passed. Mason Plumlee was finally traded after years of the Hornets fans begging for him to be traded. Finally traded at the deadline, which is why Mark was able to finally get more minutes recently on that February 10th. And what do you know? He had a double-double. Hopefully this trend will continue, the high minutes that is. Not the playing 20 minutes or less crap that they've pulled all year, but it's the Hornets, so we don't know what will happen until it comes. Mark is still a great asset and clearly a great rebounder and shot blocker. His value, his game, his production will all increase and get better over time, especially playing with LaMelo Ball. So I do believe the Hornets have their franchise center. They just have to trust him. They have to play him. They may need a new coach to fully unlock him, but the talent is there. So even though he has had only a handful of really good games in the NBA, you can see why his future is so bright. We will see what the Hornets do this next coming season. They're going to have probably a top 5 pick, and hopefully it doesn't hamper or dampen Mark Williams' shine. I think if they get Wembanyama or somebody like that, Mark Williams could still play along with him. He should still be the franchise center for this team. So that is who is Mark Williams. Hopefully I answered that for you. But I can't wait to see what's up next for him. You know, he's doing great so far this year, and there's many more to come for the big man. Many more. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Many more, much more goodness to come for Mark Williams. But thank you all so much for listening. If you like the show, follow me at William is Bill on Twitter, and subscribe to the All Rookie Podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Apple Music, all that good stuff. I don't know. I'm flustered. So it's time to get out of here. Thank you all for listening so much, and I'm out of here. Peace.